And it's if you could figure out one or two things that you love, that you're good at, that the world needs, and that you can get paid for, that's a good place to start planting your
How does a
flag.
person answer why something happens?
When you look at the findings in different fields,
Scant is the part of life in which we live.
to attain the highest values.
A lot of the lessons that you've learned from the corporate world, from product development specifically, like testing, minimizing risk, things that we talked about now, I think reflect in this work. And so I want to let's start at the beginning. Like, what does this roadmap look like? What should someone be thinking about right at the start?
So most importantly, you need to decide where to plant your flag. That's the first step in the book, called Plant Your Flag. Plant Your Flag is really just determining what are you going to build your platform on top of? What is the idea, the foundational thing that you're going to be known for? And it's easy to think about this from a professional side of things. Like, what do you do? What are you good at? Kind of what's your career been? But on a personal or a hobby side, you could go that way too. For example, I told you I tried to be a rock star. I played piano, played piano my whole life. When I was thinking about where to plant my flag, when I lived in New Jersey, I had a fairly large collection of vintage electric pianos, and I know a lot. I have an extensive amount of useless knowledge about vintage electric pianos, simply because it's a thing that I enjoy and I care about. I love the way they sound, and I love the mechanics of it and the whole thing. And look, one of the places I thought about planting my flag was, maybe I'll become the vintage electric piano guy, right? And look, there's an audience for that. There is.
Yeah.
But it's not that big. And, the opportunity to monetize that audience and that content is significantly lower than monetizing things like digital product development, digital product design, lean UX, ultimately. And so planting your flag is the first step. Now, what's interesting is after I published the book, I discovered that there's, and sadly it's not in the book, but it is on my blog. There's this Japanese framework called Ikigai that I discovered after I wrote the book. Now, and there's a westernized bastardization of it that I really like. So the original Ikigai is much more spiritual and emotional, and I don't know who exactly, but somebody basically took it and westernized it and bastardized it a bit. But I really like this other version of it, because I think it really, really helps you identify where to plant your flag. So the bastardized version of Ikigai, let's call it the westernized. Nice. The westernized version of it asks 4 questions. Okay. First question is, what do you love? Right? What do you love? Like, I love vintage electric pianos.
Yeah.
I love designing products. Right?
Yeah.
What are you good at? Right? Because love and good at aren't necessarily the thing. I love basketball. I'm not good at it.
right.
That's the favorite thing. Right? So what do you love? What are you good at?
Yeah.
What does the world need right now? Which is a really nice question to really think about. And then the 4th question is, what can you get paid for? And the idea is to start answering those questions individually, and then eventually get to a point where you have found answers that actually answer all 4 questions. And it's if you could figure out one or two things that you love, that you're good at, that the world needs, and that you can get paid for, that's a good place to start planting your flag, or start running some experiments around whether or not you should be planting your flag there.